Hello, I'm Hickey from interest.co.nz and welcome to a special report brought to you in association with the BNZ. Today we're going to have a look at tax reform, particularly in the wake of the Tax Working Group report and the speech last week from John Key, the Prime Minister. Everyone's talking about the fact our tax system is broken. But the question is, what do you need to do to fix it? How hard will it be? And what will be the benefits if you do fix it? Now, a lot of people are talking about the need for a simpler, flatter, broader tax system. Now, John Key in his speech seemed to say this is politically too hard. It means he's not doing a land tax and he's not going to be reducing that top rate by much, or at least he doesn't have much money to do it. But what is the cause of our current broken tax system? Let's look back to 2000 when the Labor government brought in the 39-cent tax rate. This created a big loophole, a big gap between family trust tax rates, the corporate tax rate and the top personal income tax rate. And of course, once that gap opened up, people jumped through it. So they saw a big loophole and they took it. Many other companies had various other vehicles they'd used as well, which reduced their tax burden. All this created an enormous amount of activity around the tax law space. Lots of accountants and tax lawyers and advisors being employed to tell companies and wealthy individuals about how to avoid paying that 39-cent tax rate. And it's resulted in a complete mess, a morass of rules that at the moment are defined more by the courts than by the political system. What we had was political activism back in the early 2000s, and in fact through the third Labor government, the third term of the Labor government, which meant that there were lots of tweaks and loopholes to try and fix this problem, but didn't actually work. So I call it activism with a small a. However, this desire for tax revenue has pushed the Inland Revenue to be activist, the big A, in the court system. So we've seen significant numbers of legal cases as the RDS tried to track down this money by using the court system. We've had the Trinity tax law case around forests, and that was jumped on. We've also seen the IRD hammer the banks and get a large amount of money back. And at the moment, there's a big case going through the court system around optional convertible notes, OCNs they're called. And the main case there is the Penny and Hooper case. Now it's boom time for lawyers at the moment. Hundreds of dollars an hour is being spent trying to interpret the law, take it through the tax system, when maybe what we really need is some tough political decisions to make sure that our tax system is flatter, broader and simpler. That instead of a broken morass full of loopholes, tax lawyers, accountants, thousands of people doing unproductive things, we could actually reduce our tax burden overall, increase the growth rate of the economy, and as Alan Bollard has pointed out, if we did have a land tax, that would actually reduce interest rates in the long run. There we go. Some options for political reform and political activism that might actually produce a better tax system than what we've seen in the past. I'm Hickey. That was a special report brought to you in association with the BNZ.